Well, it sure is a great day to be a racer, isn't it? We have a lot of people to recognize today, so I'm going to go ahead and get started. And I'm going to start the program off by recognizing some very key individuals, not only from the university, but also part of our planning, design, and construction team that really worked to make what was a vision into a reality. I'm going to start with the MSU Facilities Management team, Mr. Kim Oatman and Mr. David Burkeen. Is David here? David? Kim, stand up, please. What you don't realize is that everything starts there in their office, and there's no better group to work with than Kim and David. They do a fantastic job from beginning to end, and they help coordinate everything that happens with the facility. And Kim, I appreciate you very much. The architects for the project, Hastings and Chavetta, Al Wolf, is he? There, come on up here, Al. You don't need to be in the back, big boy. Come on, man. This is Alan Wolf. He's a senior associate with Hastings and Chavetta. He's been part of our, there's David Burkeen. They were the architects for the project and did an absolutely tremendous job. Great to work with. Listened to everything that I had to say and told me that I needed to do it a different way. But that's okay, Alan. It turned out great, so we can take credit for that. But out of St. Louis, and Dennis Lambert, who's Senior Vice President, Thomas Oley, and Danielle Passanese also were big parts of this project as well. Couldn't be here with us today, but round of applause for Hastings and Chavetta, please. Our general contractor for the project, Craig Schwetman from Pinnacle. Craig, where are you? Come on, Craig. Oh, okay, get up here, Craig. Come on, man. I'm sure a lot of you know Dennis Smith from Pinnacle and Craig Schwetman from Pinnacle Incorporated. They were the contractors, and they built this thing. So did a fantastic job once again. Awesome to work with. That's why you have such a great reputation, Craig. Thank you for all that you've done for us, and now you can go get my softball field ready. All right? Thank you, buddy. And then from the university, I'd like to recognize Dr. Bob Jackson. Bob, where are you? Bob, you're kind of hiding back there, big boy. Everybody knows Bob. Paul Radke. Paul, where are you? There's Paul. Everybody knows Paul. Tom Denton. Is Tom here? Tom's not here. Well, that's all right. He's paying the bills, so that's good. And then Mr. Steve Harrell, my associate athletic director, probably in the back making sure the sound goes okay. But, you know, guys, this is all about teamwork. And I couldn't do what I do without having such a great team. And with Bob and Paul and all the efforts that they made in going out and helping us work tirelessly to raise money for this project. And that's why we are standing here today, because of how hard they work. So, gentlemen, thank you. I appreciate you very much. Thank you. And, of course, it all starts at the top. And with that, I hope all the racer fans realize how fortunate we are to have a leader with such an outstanding vision, worked so hard and tirelessly for this university. He is a supporter of athletics. He understands the role that it can play in helping tell the university's story. We've obviously done a lot of that over the last several years, but we couldn't be more fortunate to have a president that's any better than Dr. Dunn. So I introduce Dr. Randy Dunn to you for a few comments now.
To come to these types of events on numerous occasions, and where we're dedicating a building that's been constructed or a major renovation. And I always kind of use the line, we're here today gathered together turning the page of history on the university. And how true that is today, but I would have to modify that line just a little bit to say we're turning the page to a new chapter in racer athletics. And the fact to see such a crowd here as we come together to do this dedication for the Gene W. Race Center and the Hall of Champions is just, I know, heartwarming to everybody who's associated with the university, everybody who's a fan of not just men's and women's basketball, but Racer athletics. And it just is so heartening and wonderful to see all of you come here and share this moment in that writing of the history and that turning of the page. I was told by Alan to keep it pretty brief, not to get into too many stories, so I'm going to try to do that. But I do want to share, yeah, it's always, Rhonda knows that you can tell me, but sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But I do want to mention a couple of things. So many of you who've followed the progress of Racer athletics, and particularly what the CFSB Center has brought to the university, knows that it had just been critical to really move basketball to the next level here. For those of you who have been watchers of developments around this facility writ large, you know that the old RSEC, now the CFSB Center, came to the university as the name at the time implied, a regional events center. And we had an obligation to ensure that we made it available for a wide variety of purposes, whether it's boat shows and Disney on Ice and a host of events and activities where the university was intended to support the region through the use of that facility. We wanted to make sure that we stayed true to that mission. Obviously, you can't have these nationally great basketball programs where we're always running them out of a facility, where we're saying, well, to support the mission that gave us the money to build, at that time, RSEC, now CFSB, we can send you somewhere else on campus and know that you're going to be able to do what you need to do. That doesn't happen. So it was vital to show our support of men's and women's basketball by figuring out a way to have this basketball practice facility that would allow them to build on the success, to grow that tradition, and really be that final complement to the CFSB. Well, you're going to hear in a few minutes from one of our donors, the lead donor on this gift, others here who Alan's going to talk just a little bit about. But I do want to mention these individuals kind of generally, if I could. Ron and I had the opportunity a number of years back with a couple of folks from the university to visit Gene and Taffin at their beautiful home in California. And it wasn't too long after we had come to the university, and there was no doubt that in talking to them and finding out about Gene's history with the university, that there was a love there and a dedication, particularly for basketball, Gene, we know, but not just for basketball, for the university and its programs. And I could go on here and talk about what he's meant to telecommunication systems management as one of his fields where he's been a great donor, and other entities at the university where he's made his mark. Gene, we want to thank you for this. But as we dedicate this facility today, know that all of Racer Nation is appreciative. As you look at the other donors named on your program, who Alan's going to talk about in a bit more detail in just a moment, we can go down through, and Bill and Irene think about games we've had, times you've been at the box. Suitors, I will probably never forget kind of pacing around outside the hotel there in Louisville not too long ago, and you know, just all that meant at a very exciting time in Racer basketball. If you haven't heard the story of Jim Thomas with his daughter Beth Williams and the connection to Howie Crittenden and the story he thought was so important to tell, that's a story in and of itself that's just so powerful. Coach, you were one of my first welcoming faces when I came to Murray State University, and still sometimes run into each other buying Sunday papers down at Stories on a Sunday morning. But all of these individuals have such a love and dedication. It's right and proper that we're all here to honor them today. To all of you, thanks for what you do in creating Racer athletics, giving it its meaning, giving it the national stature that we've been able to enjoy in so many ways. Your time, your attendance, your gifts, your moral support. We happened to run in last night to Coach and Katie in at Jasmine. My family's here, and we just decided to go out for dinner. And we didn't want to stay too long because we know it's kind of a parade for Coach and Katie every time they go out just to have dinner. But this is the connection that people feel to Racer athletics, and it's a lot of what makes it special and what we're here to celebrate today in this dedication of the center. So thank you for that. I want to mention too, we wouldn't be able to do any of this without the approval, support, kind of pushing along of our Board of Regents. I think I have two of them here, and I'd like you to give a round of thanks to our Faculty Regent Jack Rose is in the back, our Student Regent Jeremiah Johnson. Did I miss, I can't, Phil's here somewhere. So there's Phil. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Phil's our Faculty Regent. Phil, I was going to kid you a little bit about where you were, but Rhonda told me not to. Okay. Thank you all. We appreciate you being with us today to share in this history-making episode. And we're going to get him up to talk in just a few minutes, but I would like to take this opportunity for kind of a pre-thanks, Gene and Taffin, to present you. It's not much, but it's something we try to do for those who step up and assist us. And on behalf of Murray State University, we would like to present you with this signed basketball.
Wow.
So Gene, thank you.
Great. Thank you. Thank you.
As I was preparing my comments this week, trying to finish up the building, get it all ready for today, all I kept thinking about was, what it takes to have excellence, what it takes to be excellent in an athletic program. And it obviously starts by having strong support from the administration. Dr. Dunn, you beat me to the punch on the Board of Regents, but certainly the support from our Board of Regents. It all starts there. We have to have exceptional facilities and operations. I have to have a great staff, which I do. I'm only as good as the people that are around me, and I'm very blessed to have so many good people working for me. I have to have outstanding coaches, which I do, and Coach Prom and Coach Cross. We got to have great players. And of course, we have to have passion from a fan base that's willing to make a difference, and you all certainly are willing to make a difference. You hear me speak often about how important it is that our commitment equal our expectations for our basketball program and all of our athletic programs. And if we want to continue hanging championship banners in the CFSB Center, adding future years to this wall up here behind me, then it's important that we do make sure that commitment equals our expectations. And we're fortunate today because we're honoring that commitment and that excellence because of people like I'm about to talk about. We have announced these gifts previously over the last few months, but it's important that I recognize them again because of how important a role they played in making sure that this building was completed. I'll start off with Larry and Susan Suter, giving us $100,000 in honor of the Suter family, and we've now recognized them by naming the head coach's suite after their family. So Larry and Susan, would you please stand up and be recognized for your commitment? Larry's the one, I don't know if you watched the Moorhead game on TV, but we caught Larry. He was, it's funny, the first camera shot that you see of Larry, you get to see his face, but then about 2 seconds later, all you see is midsection because he's standing up yelling at the refs. So, but he gets a lot of TV time, and I'm glad. And I also love it when he comes to my office because every time he comes to my office, he brings a check. And he's always writing me a check, so that's great. Bill and Irene Morgan. Wow, where do you start? 5 generations associated with this program, always there to help us, always willing to support us. They donate $150,000 to name the court, Morgan Court, which is what you're standing on right there. So thank you so much for your generosity and your ongoing and ever-loving support. We appreciate you. The next honoree, Jim Thomas and his daughter Beth Williams, they can't be with us today. We honored them at a press conference a couple months ago, but Jim Thomas has an interesting story. He always he read a book, How Cuba Conquered Kentucky. And in it, he read about Howie Crittenden, one of our all-time racer greats. And one day he just wondered where Howie was and what he was doing. Called our university. We got him together. They immediately established a friendship. Since that time, Jim Thomas, who had no connection to us whatsoever, established a scholarship fund in Howie's honor and has since given us another gift to name the conference room in honor of himself and Beth Williams and Howie Crittenden. So even though they couldn't be here, round of applause, please, for them. And then most recently, you may have read that the Proud to Be a Racer publications gave $25,000 to this project in honor of another all-time great, Benny Purcell. And we will, go ahead. Sid Easley, Lindy Suter, Jimmy Wilder, and the rest that have worked so hard and diligently on the Proud to Be a Racer publication, which that book will be coming out soon. They gave that $25,000 to honor Benny, and we will be recognizing him in our new Hall of Champions, which we hope to have open up by spring of 2015. We've always needed a place to showcase everything that being a racer is all about. And that's what that new facility is going to be like. So we'll do that dedication in a couple of years. But gentlemen, please stand up and be recognized. Benny wanted me to tell you that the book is not a scam. It will actually be out. And now, of course, to our guests of honor that are seated here at the front, Dr. Gene Wells-Ray and his wife, Taffin. You're going to have to excuse me, Gene, because I tried my best to memorize everything in your bio, and I wasn't even close. So I'm going to read some of that. I know that's not appropriate, but I'm going to do it anyway. Dr. Gene Wells-Ray, of Rancho Santa Fe, California, a highly respected and successful scientist, entrepreneur, corporate executive, and a dedicated supporter of Murray State University. Dr. Ray is a 1960 graduate of the College of Science, Engineering, and Technology, where he received his Bachelor of Science degree with majors in physics, chemistry, and mathematics. Wow. Born and raised in Callaway County, Gene attended the University Training School, and then he continued his studies at the University of Tennessee, and we won't be singing Rocky Top today, okay? Where he obtained a master's degree and PhD in theoretical physics. While at Murray State, Gene was selected as an outstanding senior man and was an active member of Alpha Tau Omega. In 1981, he was recognized as a distinguished alumnus of Murray State, and in 2000, Governor Paul Patton recognized Gene with a Kentucky Oak Award, which stands for the Outstanding Alumnus of Kentucky. He was given that award in recognition of his professional work, achievements, and support of his alma mater. Currently, Gene is a member of the MSU Board of Trustees and of the MSU Foundation. Gene is a founder and CEO of GMT Ventures, a private equity firm. He was founder and CEO of the Titan Corporation from its inception in 1981 until it was sold in 2005. Titan was a diversified technology and electronics company which grew to $2.5 billion in annual revenue with over 15,000 employees. He also served as Executive Vice President and General Manager of Science Applications International Corporation for 11 years. That's a mouthful, by the way. Dr. Ray served 2 years as Chief Strategic Division of the U.S. Air Force and as a Defense Industry Analyst. He held the position of Senior Appointee on the staff of the Chief of Staff of the U.S. Air Force, where he led a team of military and civilian analysts and scientists. Most importantly, Gene and his wife Taffin have been extremely generous donors to the university. A few years ago, Gene caused Murray State to receive a $200,000 gift from a California-based foundation that provided initial program development funds for the university's program of distinction, Telecommunication Systems Management. In addition, Gene and Taffin, through their family foundation, have donated $250,000 to the Telecommunications Systems Management Program. And of course, the reason that we're gathered here today. Back in September, Gene and Taffin made a $500,000 gift to assist in the completion of this basketball practice facility in the future Hall of Champions. In addition, they established a $1 million gift annuity that will provide future support to the practice facility, Racer basketball, the College of Science, Engineering, and Technology, including the Telecommunications System Management Program. His background and generosity are very impressive. But what you may not know about him is what I like the most is he loves Racer basketball. And that's why it's only fitting from this day forward, this beautiful new building will be known as the Gene W. Ray Center for Racer Basketball. Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Gene Wells Ray.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you all very much. Thank you, Alan. Thank you, President Dunn. And it's just wonderful. Taffin and I are so pleased to be here and to be able to see so many of our friends, relatives, fraternity brothers, and Racer fans. We couldn't be more honored than we are today to have our name associated with Murray State Racer basketball. I've been an avid Murray State Racer fan since I was a young kid growing up on a farm about 8 miles east of here, shooting hoops on an outdoor court, trying to imitate the famous jump shot of Benny Purcell. Benny is my hero, my first hero, basketball. And we have the Murray State had just gone on from there to have a great tradition. In fact, I was also very fortunate that I sort of kind of played basketball for 4 years in the old Carr Health Building for Murray Training School, high school. But to put that in perspective, I never got past being a backup to Pete Waldrop. And I think it's fair to say that Pete Waldrop was no Benny Purcell.
Absolutely not.
But seriously, I was very fortunate to be able to attend the Murray Training School, and I got an excellent education there, which prepared me well for Murray State University, where I got a great education that prepared me well for the rest of my life. In fact, I'm sure we can all agree that we're all very fortunate to have such a wonderful institution, great institution, as the Murray State University here in our community. And we're also very fortunate that the Murray State University has established a winning tradition of basketball that it means so much to the institution and to all of us. And last year, of course, it got taken to a whole new level. Coach Prom brought us to a level where we are recognized among the elite of mid-majors. And so that I know we're all very, very proud of. But more important, more time urgent, tonight, Coach Prom, do what you did last year before a nationally televised Bracket Buster game, win. And with that, I'd just like to close by providing a warning. And the warning is OVC tournament, we're back. We're going to win it again. Go Racers.
I want to recognize one other person, Betsy Flynn. Where's Betsy? Betsy, come up here. You know, I'm going to date myself a little bit, but I remember the very first conversation that we had back in 2007 about naming that arena. Right? Betsy was the president of CFSB. It's what got all this started. Naming that arena allowed us to have this facility today. Round of applause for Betsy, please.
Thank you so much. Can you believe it here? Thank you for being here. Thank you. Thank you.
Well, I told everybody it was going to be short and sweet, and that's what it was. So now we have cookies and punch just out the front here. And all you Racer fans, take your time. Hold on. I'm going to get there. You do PA in there, I'll do PA in here, all right? Sorry about that, Paul. I shouldn't have said that. I don't even remember where I was now. So. Oh, Kicky's Punch. Yeah, why would I forget that? So, no, Racer fans, feel free to tour the facility. You'll notice the men's offices are out to your right, women's offices are out to your left. Take time just to visit and enjoy yourself, and let's get ready and be very, very rowdy tonight as Steve goes and prepares the racers for another big victory.
I didn't have any choice, but it was ready to call until everybody runs out of film. Everybody got enough pictures? Give them a big 1, 2, 3 chance so they know.
1, 2, 3.